Hey guys, it's Mega Sprite and welcome to episode 2 of Hypixel Skyblock. I just wanted to say thank you for the crazy amount of support on the first episode, and another thank you for hitting 300 subscribers. I love this game, and I am so happy the first video I made on it did so well, so here's to a bright future series. As a thank you, I recorded over double the amount of footage and spent even more time editing, so if you could please like, comment, and subscribe, it would mean a lot, and it really helps me continue the series. Thank you again, and please enjoy. The first thing I immediately knew I had to do when I logged back on was get auto smelters for a bunch of my minions. The auto smelters would smelt the gold and iron ore I was stuck with into usable gold and iron ingots. Now, usually this wouldn't be that big of a problem, but the gold and iron ore does not count towards collections, and that's literally like the only thing I care about right now. So yeah, they had to go. After doing some light sorting and upgrading minions with resources I had laying around, you know, we gotta do anything for those minion slots. Then I went and visited Portal Hub so I could eat all their sentry cakes for some stat bonuses for 48 hours. This place would also act as a very good hub considering the fact that I don't have warps or portals to anywhere in the game yet. That will come over time, so this place is going to be like my safe haven for the rest of the playthrough. I then used their Deep Caverns portal and started mining, but instead of being like a normal person and actually progressing, my dumbass just keeps going around mining coal, gold, and iron. What the hell was I thinking? Here's proof that I didn't even snap out of it and start mining something better. I did this for like a good 20 minutes. Even though I had been mining in the gunpowder mines for so damn long that I actually nearly got to mining level 11, I ended up just leaving and going back to my island. I eventually went back to the hub and started harvesting some wheat outside the village. And now, when I say I did a lot of farming this episode, I did a lot of farming. The following clips are just a taste of what I did, by the way. I've probably did a collective amount of like 2 hours of farming in this episode, and just like my gold, coal, and iron farming, a majority of it was pointless. In Hypixel Skyblock, there are enchanted forms of items. If you combine a bunch of items together, they become an enchanted version of themselves. The only reason this was added is so they could make even more complicated, even more expensive recipes. This is important later on in the future. I just wanted to explain this now because I do use this a lot throughout this episode. Now, the reason I'm doing all this farming is because I'm trying to unlock the bazaar. Every time you level up collection or level up a skill, you get a bit of Skyblock XP, and considering farming has many easy collections to level up, and by itself, the farming skill is pretty easy to level up as well in the early game, it's actually a really efficient source of XP. After I was done farming, I took all the resources to the farm merchant and sold it for our first real bit of coins. I took these coins to the auction house to look for a semi-decent hoe I could use, but I realized it'd probably be better to just buy the rookie hoe from the farm merchant and enchant that myself. With that out of the way, you guessed it, I immediately went right back to farming. After a little bit of farming, the traveling zoo came by, but yeah, I was way too broke to afford anything. Even though the traveling zoo is a complete waste of time, I sold all my resources that I got from farming and made my way over to the auction house to try to buy lapis armor. In the meantime, I went over to the weaponsmith and purchased an undead sword, and spoiler alert, I barely used this thing. Got some cobblestone from the builder and from the mine merchant to upgrade my cobblestone minion. After gathering all the iron I had lying around at the base, I upgraded my iron minion and unlocked my 7th minion slot. I also may have dive bombed into the void, losing half my coins, so that was fun. After upgrading my lapis minion, I made my way back to the auction house to continue trying to win the bids on some lapis armor I had placed. And yes, I know, very predictable of me, I farmed while I waited for the auctions to end. Exciting. Unsarcastically though, I made like 50k from this farming trip, so honestly I wasn't that mad. I took my 50k to the auction house and started bidding on even more lapis armor because I lost my earlier bids, mainly because I was distracted farming, but anyways, this time it actually paid off because I actually won these auctions, getting me a full set of lapis armor. Now you might be curious why I'm not showing a clip of me wearing the lapis armor, right? Well, because you already know what I did in the meantime. I went and spoke to the farmhand in the barn, and he gave me a quest to go craft a wheat minion. So instead, I just continued farming. Apparently while I was farming, I accidentally took place in a potato Jacob contest, so I got myself a free Jacob's ticket, which sold for about 40,000 coins later on in the episode, so that was cool. After I was done selling off all of the crops I had just harvested, I made my way over back to the auction house and found out that I had won every single bid I placed on the lapis armor, finally completing our first decent armor set. Now I went over to the weaponsmith right after because I wanted to buy one of every single weapon he had. Now you might be confused why I did this, but I am solely doing this for XP, and let me show you why. If I take these items to the local museum, I can donate them to the curator and get some free Skyblock XP. I can donate more later, but this is all I had for the time being. I made my way back to my island to collect and upgrade a few of my minions. On my journey for even more Skyblock XP, I journeyed into the graveyard biome, seeking combat and seeking that sweet, sweet loot. I just wanted to upgrade combat. Turns out even leveling up your bestiary gives you Skyblock XP. Oh, woohoo. I logged off after that huge session of combat XP farming, and when I came back to my island and just harvested my minions. I finally took my coins to the bank and deposited them so I don't lose them again. To unlock the carpentry skill, I needed to bring the carpenter's 64 wool, so after struggling to make a pair of shears, I made my way over to the desert settlement. After discovering the shepherd's keep, I went and spoke to the shepherd and he asked me to shear all of his sheep for him, so I went around doing that, collecting enough wool for the carpenter. In the meantime, spoke to the shepherd again, and then brought the wool back to the carpenter. The reason I was doing this quest for the carpenter is because he would unlock me the carpentry skill, which when at level 3, would unlock me quick crafting. The way you level up carpentry is actually just by crafting complicated recipes, so as you see here, me making enchanted seeds somehow gave me enough carpentry XP to get to carpentry level 1. Carpentry will just slowly level up as you progress, but hey, it's more Skyblock XP and you know how much I love that. After purchasing some wood from the lumber merchant and using my metric ton of wheat, I crafted a wheat minion and its many upgrades. After selling even more crops, I took my money to the bank and deposited it, and I found out that I had officially hit 100,000 coins. Well, that was pretty cool. After leveling up my farming and carpentry skill one more time, I made my way over to the barn to unlock even more collections, so I started killing pigs, chickens, and the cows there. It felt like I was getting nowhere in the chicken, cow, and pig collections, so I pulled out my axe and just started harvesting the local melon and pumpkins. I did this for a good 20 or 30 minutes, by the way, so you're in for a lot of collection upgrades. To free up some additional space in my inventory and, get closer to unlocking even more minion slots, I made the melon and pumpkin minion. I had been working towards unlocking the enchanted melon recipe for so long, and as you can see here, I was very excited to finally unlock it. After using some pumpkins and melons I had harvested afterwards to upgrade my minions a little bit more, I continued working on my animal collections. After leveling up my collection so much, I hit Skyblock level 6 and unlocked auto pickup, which sent every one of my block and mob drops directly into my inventory. And I was one step closer to unlocking the bazaar. But the most important part about this was just like, look, it's just nothing's jumping on the ground anymore. Look at that, it's straight in my inventory. It made doing these collections so much faster. I killed so many farm animals, I leveled up my combat. I don't even know how that's possible, but hey, more Skyblock XP is more Skyblock XP. So I got off after my animal slaughtering and forgot to record, so here's a dramatic reenactment of what I did. Basically, I just farmed nether warts and then purchased a bunch of shit from this potion lady. Alright, you're caught up now. Even though I had all of the stuff to actually start brewing, I didn't have a water source to fill up the bottles, so I went to the builder and bought some buckets of water to bring back to my island. You're probably curious on why I'm doing alchemy, and I wanted to make haste potions so I could do foraging and mining a lot faster. Afterwards, I've collected my minions for the millionth time this episode. Yeah, I know. And I even upgraded my coal minion by scrounging enough coal together by mining some of the ones he placed, and finally upgrading him. I also upgraded my gold and my lapis minion, unlocking me my 8th minion slot. I genuinely think I was addicted to farming. I did it so damn much throughout this episode, it's crazy. Farmed a lot of carrots so I could make and upgrade a carrot minion. Upgraded my carrot minion up until it was level 5, then I started working on my potato minion and potato collection. Unless you're a fiend for unlocking minion slots, me upgrading this potato minion probably isn't very exciting. But you know what is exciting? Farming level 14! That's level 7 in the bag. We unlocked the bazaar. Let's go! I made my way over to the bazaar and sold everything in my inventory and in my ender chest for finally more than NPC sell value. This is amazing. Also, peep the 240k we got. Hell yeah, let's go. With my newly acquired bazaar access, I put in a buy order for 5 enchanted glowstone dust and went around to the NPCs buying a bunch of items to flip on the bazaar. This made me a ton of money, so I highly recommend you do it too. Wink wink. I took my enchanted glowstone dust back to my island and upgraded my haste 1 potions into haste 3 potions. But when I drank them and started shopping, something was a little off, so oh, that's much better. Once I was done foraging, I decided to make myself some new mining tools, so I went to the bazaar to get myself all the resources necessary for an enchantment table and a book from the librarian, bought all the bookshelves from the builder, and went to my base to set it up. After I had finished setting up the enchanting table, I bought 10 grand experience bottles from the bazaar and got to enchanting my new mining tools. I took my new pickaxe to the deep caverns and went immediately down to the pigmen's den to start mining some redstone. But, per usual, I immediately died to a zombie pigman AFK checking my phone, so yeah, yet again, it looks like we're not having any deep caverns progression in this episode. When I next got on, it was the season of Jerry, so you know what that means? It's time for my first event. When it spoke to Frosty, was right in front of me, and he told me how Mount Jerry keeps erupting and releasing tons of vile monsters. So he gave me this Frosty the Snow Cannon to defend against them. He also told me how there were gifts scattered everywhere, but honestly, I was more entertained by the fact that the Frosty the Snow Cannon could shoot snowballs at people, and then when I was just doing it to some random guy, he just started giving me gifts, so yeah. It was actually pretty cool considering these gifts gave me a shit ton of skill XP and coins, so honestly I wasn't too mad. I think the guy actually. Like I said, there were gifts scattered all throughout the Jerry's workshop, and I went and spoke to St. Jerry and he told me how if I found all of them, come back to him. So that was my new main goal. I got distracted by Einery's Emporium because I thought I had a gift in it, but it turns out it's this entire shop that uses North Stars that you get from opening gifts to trade with. They had a bunch of unique items that were really good. I just honestly couldn't afford any of them because I only had 10 from that random guy who gave me a bunch of gifts. In another local shop, there was this winter rod that I bought. I'm actually kind of into fishing, so I knew it would be useful later down the line. I also ran up this hill and discovered the Glacial Cave, which it turns out this is the only place you can get ice in the entire game, so it was actually pretty good. I just ran around here mining a bunch of it. I also discovered a lot of stuff inside of the walls, like presents and ice bait, and even more ice to level up the collection for it. I mined so much ice that I hit an ore mined milestone of 2500, getting me a wild rock and leveling up my Skyblock level. And it was actually my first pet ever, and honestly, it wasn't that bad. It just gave me a lot of defense. Leveling up pets is actually its own skill, and now that I have the rock pet, I could start leveling up taming. So, even more Skyblock XP. Let's go. I got kind of bored in the Glacial Cave, so I just started running around and discovered the hot springs. Turns out it's a pretty cool place to fish, I just don't have any fishing gear. Don't know why, but I tried fighting one of the dude's sea creatures and ended up dying and losing half of my coins. Hooray. discovered Gulliver on top of this mountain. He told me to do these chicken races for some cool rewards. So I valiantly accepted and got to flying. After completing the challenge for the final time, I spoke to Glover and got my final reward, and using my gift compass, I ran around and started collecting the rest of the white gifts I hadn't found yet. I clearly knew there was a gift on top of this house, but I didn't have any way to make it up there, so, being incredibly smart with my money, I went to the auction house and purchased an Aspect of the End. Its instant transmission ability was perfect for getting me right up on top of the house and claiming the gift. And after finding the last one, I went and spoke to St. Jerry, who gave me a green gift for all my troubles. The last thing I did before I logged off was I ran around and gathered the 5 fairy souls in the Jerry's workshop. I just wanted to show you that I did this in case you ever wonder how I got them in the future. And if you don't know what they are, don't worry, I'll explain them later because I'm definitely going to get them all probably in the next episode or two. This concludes episode 2, and I just wanted to say another massive thank you for everyone who enjoyed the first episode. I have been having a ton of fun with this game, and I cannot wait to keep making more videos for you guys. The amount of progress we made was also astonishing, and I can't wait to make more. And now, I know I usually post videos once every 3 to 4 days, but with how much longer this series takes to edit, I will probably upload a full-length episode probably once every 1 to 2 weeks. Again, thank you guys for watching. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me make more videos. And like I always say, I love this game, and I'll make you love it too. See ya.